Once upon a time in the land of Elysium, there lived a young girl named Aurora. She had a heart full of compassion and an insatiable curiosity for the world around her. Aurora possessed a unique ability to sense the suffering of others, an ability that both burdened her and ignited her desire to alleviate it. As a child, Aurora often found herself gravitating towards those in pain. She would spend endless hours comforting the lonely, listening to the broken-hearted, and offering solace to the grieving. Her empathetic nature allowed her to understand the depth of suffering that people experienced, whether it was physical, emotional, or spiritual. Over the years, Aurora witnessed the many faces of suffering in her community. She met a farmer struggling with drought, unable to feed his family and watching his crops wither away. She encountered a widow consumed by grief, unable to move forward after losing her lifelong partner. Aurora even met young children orphaned by war, haunted by the nightmares of their past. Each encounter left an indelible mark on Aurora's soul. She decided that she couldn't simply stand by and witness the suffering around her without taking action. With the support of her family, she embarked on a quest to understand suffering and find ways to alleviate it. Aurora traveled far and wide, seeking wisdom from sages, scholars, and healers. She learned that suffering could manifest in various forms: physical pain, loss, injustice, longing, and even the internal struggles within one's mind. The more Aurora learned, the more she realized that suffering was an inherent part of the human experience. No matter who she encountered or where she went, she found suffering clinging to the fabric of life. However, she also discovered that within the darkness of suffering, there was always a glimmer of hope waiting to be kindled. With this newfound knowledge, Aurora dedicated herself to comforting those in pain and instilling hope in their hearts. She worked tirelessly in hospitals, easing the physical and emotional anguish of the sick and injured. She fought for the rights of the oppressed, tirelessly advocating for justice and equality. She nurtured the abandoned and neglected, offering love and support to those who had been left behind. As Aurora devoted herself to alleviating suffering, she encountered countless challenges along the way. There were moments when she felt overwhelmed by the immense weight of the world's pain. But through it all, she remained steadfast and unwavering in her mission. In time, Aurora's unwavering compassion and dedication inspired others to join her cause. People from all walks of life came forward, offering their skills, resources, and support. Together, they formed a community united by a shared purpose, to alleviate suffering and bring light to those living in darkness. While suffering remained an inevitable part of human existence, Aurora and her community brought solace, comfort, and hope to those in need. Their actions rippled outwards, creating a web of kindness that stretched far and wide, touching the lives of countless individuals. As Aurora continued her journey, she understood that suffering could not be eradicated entirely. Yet, she believed that through acts of compassion and understanding, one could find solace amidst the storm. In her eyes, suffering had become the catalyst for profound transformation, leading individuals and communities towards greater compassion and unity. And so, Aurora carried the flame of hope forward, her heart resonating with the pain of others and her determination unwavering. For as long as there was suffering in the world, she would be there, standing as a beacon of humanity and love. As the years went by, Aurora's work touched the lives of countless people. Her reputation as a bringer of hope and a healer of suffering spread far and wide, reaching even the most remote corners of the world. People began to seek her guidance, not only for comfort in their time of need but also for inspiration to make a difference themselves. Aurora understood that the key to alleviating suffering lay not only in her own actions but in empowering others to do the same. She started teaching workshops and holding gatherings, where people could come together and learn about the power of compassion and empathy. She shared stories of her own experiences and those she had encountered throughout her journey, instilling in everyone the belief that small acts of kindness could have a profound impact. People from diverse backgrounds and walks of life joined forces, forming organizations dedicated to addressing the root causes of suffering. They tackled issues such as poverty, inequality, and environmental degradation, all with the shared goal of creating a world where suffering was minimized. Aurora knew that suffering could take on different forms in different cultures and societies. She traveled to distant lands, immersing herself in the lives and struggles of people from various backgrounds. She listened to their stories, learning about their unique struggles and finding ways to address them effectively. Over time, Aurora came to understand that suffering was not limited to individuals alone. Entire communities and even countries could experience immense pain. She realized that healing went beyond the individual level. It required addressing systemic issues, breaking down barriers, and fostering cooperation and understanding between nations. In her tireless pursuit of a better world, Aurora faced numerous obstacles and setbacks. There were moments of doubt and weariness, when the magnitude of suffering seemed overwhelming. But she remained resolute, knowing that even the smallest acts of kindness could make a difference. Her work inspired others to step forward, and a global movement of compassion and healing began to take shape. People from all corners of the world joined hands, eager to play their part in alleviating suffering. Governments and organizations started to shift their priorities, recognizing the importance of addressing the root causes of suffering and prioritizing the well-being of their citizens. Through the collective efforts of countless individuals, suffering gradually diminished, and a newfound sense of unity and compassion emerged. People started to prioritize the well-being of others, recognizing that the true measure of a society was how it treated its most vulnerable members. Aurora's journey had come full circle. She had witnessed the depths of suffering and devoted her life to shining a light in its darkest corners. She had touched the lives of countless people, giving them hope and inspiring them to make a difference. The world was not free from sorrow, but it had become a place where suffering was met with empathy, kindness, and a determination to create change. Aurora's legacy lived on, carrying forward the lessons of compassion and unity. The stories of her brave and selfless acts were told from generation to generation, reminding people of the power they possessed to make a difference. And as long as there were hearts willing to reach out and stand in solidarity with those in need, suffering would always be met with love and healing.